Howdy, this is Mackenzie Franklin from SideGame LLC here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Today we're going to be taking a look at the game Inish by Christian Martinez and published by Matago Games. Now, this is the newest edition of Inish, so the box art is a little bit different. It also is going to include the Seasons of Inish expansion as well as completely fully sleeved. Let's go ahead and take a look inside. So right off the bat, we're going to lift this box lid, and you'll notice that the insert is missing. So they honestly just kind of get in the way, and they take up too much space, so they have been removed. Right on the top, we have the rulebook, as well as the rulebook for the expansion, Seasons of Inish. Up next, on this right side here, this is where we'll focus first, these are the exclusive expansion content. So let's go ahead and take a look inside of this small bag. Now, the reason they're in their own separate bags, you're not going to use them every time. First off, we have the wheel. This is for the Seasons expansion. It's going to have special abilities, and that's covered by these reference cards. So that's why they are separated. You also have the We Need a King tile if you're going to play with that module. There's also still in that bag, you've got the counter to tell you what season it is. And then the last thing that the last two things are going to be the Sons of Melee card. You're going to be using this Epic Tales card if you're playing with the harbors and islands. That's why it is separated from the rest. The rest is easily integrated. We also have some extra sleeves. I'll leave a link in the description for the sleeves that I use for the game. But this is also going to contain additional green action cards. So in the expansion, they give you a whole additional set of action cards. That way you have a new one to use, and they also include 2 new updates for some clarification for some old action cards. So you can use that brand new set, and then you won't need those original 17 cards. So you can leave those to the side. So that's everything in the small expansion. We'll go ahead and zip that back up. And underneath that, we have a small organizer. And this is from the Dollar Tree. Once again, I'll leave a link in the description for the one that I use. But I find it works really well. You simply open up the top, and boom, you're all set up and ready to go for the game. So in this section, we're going to have them organized here. We have our capital city here, our citadels here for defense. You've got our sanctuaries. We have our deed tokens, our pretender tokens, all slotted in nicely. And then we have our harbor tokens here. And then we have our tokens that we're going to need for expansion content. And then our tokens for base game. So this is going to include the festival token, the Bren token, and the crows token for the turn order. And that all fits super nicely, a simple open, and you're ready to go. So I really like this organizer. Works extremely well, $1 Dollar Tree. Up next, we have individual bags for all of the different player characters. So once again, there's just going to be 5 of these for the 5 different characters. Very straightforward. And they've got all sorts of different sculpts in here. Really nice. Up next, we've got all of the player cards. So once again, just in a large plastic bag, these are going to have all your Epic Tales cards, your round summary, as well as your location bonuses cards. So that's just all in there, including your action cards. Everything in one package. You're going to need these every game. A lot of the expansion content will integrate into here super nicely, so nothing crazy with the organization on that one. You can use a box if you'd like, but I just use a bag because it is fairly simple to open and take it out. Keeps it nice and tight. Next thing here on the left, we've got a silica gel packet just to keep things nice and fresh. And then we have all of the tiles for exploration. And you can separate these if you'd like. So on the bottom here, if you can notice with this blue background, you're going to have all of your islands. And in the new expansion, a lot of these places are going to come with harbors included. So if they're blue on the backgrounds, they are islands, so keep that in mind. And there's actually a new replacement tile for the cove. So if you're using that, make sure the harbor expansion, make sure to replace it, because the cove will have a harbor. So just keep that in mind. If you do not want to play with these, you can also just leave these face up and put the rest on top like that. But that's all of the expansion content. And that is everything inside the box here. So let's go ahead and pack it up. Now, first things first, when you are packing up, make sure that you place the tiles like so. You need to have room here to place the large deck of cards. Otherwise, it's not going to fit super nicely. Up next, you'll put that large organizer on the right, and that way it all fits in snugly. Nothing is shaking around and moving. Our silica gel packet in there. We've got our expansion content on the top here. And then we have all of our player pieces kind of just filling in all that empty space. And you can even put one on top here, because that will allow those rule books to rest nicely on top. And that is organizing Inish. If you have any questions about what you saw here, please let me know down in the comments below. How do you organize your copy of Inish? I'd love to hear what you think, and I'd love to hear your take on an organization system. What games would you like to see organized? I'd love to hear your responses. I hope some of you found this useful. Thank you so much for watching. Side Game Strong.